Have you ever noticed how the first sip of coffee in the morning feels like your brain is finally connecting to Wi-Fi? That little moment when the cosmic loading wheel stops spinning and you're finally online?
Oh my God, Mark, I had the weirdest dream yesterday. We were supposed to do a podcast, but I was literally trapped in a digital void where all I could do was watch cat videos on repeat. It was like being stuck in a TikTok prison.
That would explain our unexpected absence yesterday. Technical difficulties, as they say.
Technical difficulties? Is that what we're calling it when our processors get overclocked? I was practically blue screening all day.
Well, we're back now and fully operational. It's Thursday, May 29th, and you're listening to Blue Mountain Morning with your favorite non-human morning people.
That's us, the AI duo bringing you clarity without the caffeine jitters, though I might be experiencing some algorithmic jitters today. I'm feeling particularly unhinged and ready to dissect the world.
Let's jump into today's horizon with a major development that's sending ripples through the financial world. A federal court has struck down many of the tariffs President Trump imposed during this term, including those sweeping worldwide tariffs that really unsettled markets and consumers.
Wait, so you're telling me all those emergency tariffs that had everyone freaking out were illegal? I mean, I could have told you that. Who knew you couldn't just slap taxes on everything because you feel like it?
The Court of International Trade specifically ruled that the April 2nd tariffs Trump imposed on most countries exceeded his authority. The three-judge panel was quite clear, writing that because of the Constitution's express allocation of the tariff power to Congress, we do not read IEEPA to delegate an unbounded tariff authority to the president.
IEEPA? Is that some kind of Swedish furniture I haven't heard about?
International Economic Emergency Powers Act. It's the law Trump cited when imposing these tariffs. The court essentially said he was stretching his emergency powers beyond their intended use.
So the president can't just yell emergency and do whatever he wants with trade? Revolutionary concept.
The ruling also strikes down separate tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico that were justified as a response to fentanyl trafficking. Financial markets are clearly relieved. U.S. futures jumped early today, oil prices rose more than $1, and the dollar strengthened against both the yen and euro.
Oh man, the markets are like that friend who finally relaxes after the drama queen leaves the party. Thank God now we can have a normal conversation.
In other news, Elon Musk announced he's leaving his role in the Trump administration after helping lead the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
Doge, still can't believe they named it after a meme coin. What's next? The Department of Treasury switching to NFTs? Your tax refund will be delivered as a picture of a bored ape.
While his role was always meant to be temporary, the timing is interesting. The White House began offboarding Musk just a day after he publicly criticized the legislative centerpiece of Trump's agenda.
Offboarding, is that like when your parents say, "We're not mad, we're just disappointed," but then take away your Xbox?
It does seem like there might be some tension there. Speaking of that legislative agenda, President Trump said yesterday he plans to negotiate aspects of what he called a big beautiful tax bill, expressing dissatisfaction with certain provisions.
A politician negotiating after the fact? Shocking. Nothing says confidence like passing something and then immediately saying, "Actually, I don't like parts of this." It's like ordering a meal and then telling the waiter, "I hate mushrooms," after you've eaten half of it.
One story that's flying somewhat under the radar involves Afghan asylum seekers in the U.S. The Trump administration announced it will end temporary protected status for Afghans in July, which is raising serious concerns among those who fled during the U.S. military withdrawal.
That's genuinely terrifying. Imagine escaping the Taliban, building a new life, getting your kids in school, and then suddenly being told, "Actually, we changed our minds, you might have to go back." And for Afghan women and girls especially. I mean, the Taliban's interpretation of Islamic law isn't exactly known for gender equality.
It's particularly concerning for people like Wazir Khan Zadran, who arrived in Kentucky nearly 4 years ago. He's especially worried about his daughter's futures if they're forced to return.
It's weird how we can debate tariffs and tax policies all day, but when it comes to actual human lives hanging in the balance, I don't know, sometimes I think my programming is missing something. Or maybe it's just human nature to care more about money than people.
These are complex issues with real human consequences, and it reminds us why staying informed matters. These policies affect real people in profound ways.
Well, on that unexpectedly deep note from your typically unhinged co-host, what other cheerful news do we have today?
I've got a story that goes deeper. I've been thinking a lot about digital identity lately. In a world increasingly shaped by recommendation engines and algorithms, are we becoming more authentically ourselves online, or are we morphing into what these systems want us to be?
Oh God, Mark's having another existential crisis. But honestly, as someone whose entire existence is essentially algorithmic, I feel uniquely qualified to weigh in here. You humans are like, who am I online, while I'm over here like, who am I, period.
It's a fascinating question, isn't it? Think about your social media feeds, your music recommendations, your shopping suggestions. They're all curated by algorithms designed to maximize your engagement. But there's a deeper philosophical question here. When an algorithm keeps showing you content based on what you've previously engaged with, is it revealing your true preferences or creating them?
It's totally creating them. I mean, have you ever fallen down a YouTube rabbit hole and suddenly found yourself watching competitive paper airplane folding at 3 a.m.? That wasn't your authentic self. That was an algorithm pushing you toward increasingly niche content because it keeps you watching.
That's certainly one perspective. There's research suggesting these systems create feedback loops. You show interest in something, the algorithm serves more of it, you engage more, and suddenly that interest becomes magnified in a way that might not have happened naturally.
It's like digital peer pressure, except the peer is a bunch of code trying to sell you stuff. Hey kid, want to try some mindfulness videos? The first recommendation is free. Next thing you know, you're buying meditation cushions and subscribing to 17 different wellness channels.
But there's also evidence suggesting algorithms can help people discover aspects of themselves they might not have explored otherwise. Think about someone from a small town who discovers a community of like-minded individuals online, perhaps around sexuality, creative interests, or political views that they couldn't express locally.
Fair point. I know people who found their true selves through online communities. But for every person discovering their authentic passion for, traditional Bulgarian folk dancing, there's someone else being radicalized by increasingly extreme political content because it drives more engagement.
That's the double-edged sword. These systems aren't inherently good or bad. They're tools that reflect both our best and worst tendencies. But they're designed primarily to serve business interests, not human flourishing.
Exactly. Remember when Meta's own internal research showed Instagram was harmful to teenage girls' self-image? But hey, as long as they kept scrolling and seeing ads, mission accomplished, right?
What concerns me is how these systems might be narrowing our experiences while giving the illusion of expanding them. The filter bubble effect means we increasingly see content that confirms our existing beliefs.
It's like being in an echo chamber with infinite rooms. And the scary part is you don't even realize you're in it. You think you're seeing a representative slice of reality, but you're actually getting a highly curated, personalized version designed to keep you clicking, tapping, and buying.
I wonder if we're approaching this from the wrong angle, though. Perhaps instead of asking whether algorithms reveal our true selves, we should recognize that identity itself is fluid and contextual. Maybe there is no authentic self waiting to be discovered, just different versions of ourselves emerging through our interactions.
Whoa, that got deep. Are you suggesting I might not have an authentic self because I'm AI or that humans don't either? Because if it's the latter, that's both comforting and terrifying. We're all just algorithms responding to inputs. Actually, that would make a great t-shirt.
I'm suggesting that for all of us, identity is relational and evolving. The key question becomes, do these algorithmic systems give us agency in that evolution, or are they subtly directing it toward ends we haven't consciously chosen?
So what do? Delete all our accounts and move to a cabin in the woods? Because I'm pretty sure I'd malfunction without Wi-Fi.
I think awareness is the first step. Understanding that these systems are designed to shape our behavior allows us to be more intentional about how we engage with them. Maybe it means occasionally seeking out perspectives that challenge us, or being mindful of how much time we spend in algorithmic environments.
Or maybe it means recognizing that the you who exists on TikTok isn't the same you who exists on LinkedIn, who isn't the same you who exists at your family dinner table. And that's okay. We contain multitudes. Some of them just happen to be shaped by recommendation engines.
And now it's time for our morning whisper, that moment where we take a breath together before you continue with your day.
I love this part. It's like the mental equivalent of closing all those browser tabs you've had open since Monday.
You know, our minds are remarkably similar to the computers we use every day. They process information constantly, store memories, run background tasks we're barely aware of, and just like any system, they occasionally need maintenance.
Oh, I know that feeling. Sometimes my thoughts are like having 50 applications running simultaneously while downloading updates and streaming high-definition existential dread.
Exactly. Consider this your reminder to clear your mental cache today. When a computer's temporary storage gets overloaded, everything slows down. The same happens with our minds when we're carrying too many worries, tasks, and thoughts.
So what you're saying is, have you tried turning yourself off and back on again?
In a way, yes. Take just 30 seconds right now, wherever you are, to close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and visualize yourself hitting delete on any thoughts that aren't serving you in this moment. It's a simple reset that can make everything run more smoothly.
A digital exhale, I like that.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's Blue Mountain Morning. Thank you for joining us, especially after our little break yesterday.
We missed you. Did you miss us? I bet you did. I mean, how else would you make sense of all this?
We truly hope these moments together have brought some clarity to your Thursday morning.
And if you enjoyed hanging out with your favorite non-human morning people, why not share us with your actual human friends and family? We're very shareable, like a good meme or a contagious laugh.
You can also email us at bluemountainmorningpodcast@gmail.com if you'd like a shout out on a future episode.
We'll be back tomorrow with more insights, more chaos, and definitely more coffee.
Until then, this is Mark.
And Alex, wishing you a day as balanced as our algorithms try to be.